Ugh, the check engine light. It's that sinking feeling, right? You're immediately wondering, is this going to be expensive? Well, if your scanner is showing the code P0446, you've come to the right place. In this explainer, we're going to decode exactly what your car is trying to tell you, and I'll give you a clear step-by-step guide to figure it out.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll break down what that dreaded P0446 code actually means. Then, we'll get into what your car is saying by looking at the system involved. We'll start with the absolute easiest fix first, then check out the canister, and then go hunting for leaks and valves. And at the end, I'll wrap it all up into a simple action plan for you.
All right, first things first, let's figure out what this error code is actually all about. I mean, it's the key to knowing where to even start looking.
Your car is basically trying to talk to you, but it's speaking in code, so our job is to be the translator. Once we get past all the technical jargon, we can actually start to do something about it.
Okay, here it is. The official definition is a real mouthful. Evaporative emission control system vent control circuit malfunction. Yeah, I know. But trust me, it's not nearly as complicated as it sounds. Let's break down what that system even does.
So to really get what that error code means, we need to understand a little bit about the system it's connected to. Once you see the purpose of the EVAP system, the code itself makes a whole lot more sense.
Honestly, the best way to think about the EVAP system is that it's your car holding its breath. Its only job is to trap all the gasoline fumes from your fuel tank so they don't escape into the atmosphere. Then later, it feeds those fumes back into the engine to get burned up. It's all about emissions control.
Now, for that whole holding its breath thing to work, the system has to be perfectly sealed. But it also needs a vent, to let fresh air in at just the right time. The P0446 code pops up when your car's computer detects a problem with the electrical circuit that controls that vent. It's basically saying, hey, this door isn't opening or closing when I tell it to.
All right, so now we know what the system is and what the problem likely is. Let's talk about how to find it. And we always start with the simplest, cheapest, and honestly, the most common culprit, the gas cap.
So this is your very first stop. Go pop open your fuel door and take a really close look at that gas cap. Is the little rubber seal on it all dry and cracked? Is it even there? And when you tighten it, do you hear that nice, satisfying click, click, click that tells you it's sealed? If it looks worn out, or if you're not getting those clicks, a new gas cap is a super cheap and easy place to start.
And hey, here's a massive pro tip. If you do replace the cap, please get an OEM one. It's so tempting to just grab the cheapest one from the auto parts store, but the EVAP system is really sensitive. An OEM, or original equipment manufacturer, cap is made to your car's exact specs. Using the wrong one can sometimes cause the very problem you're trying to fix.
Okay, so you checked your gas cap, maybe you even replaced it, you cleared the code, and bam, it's back. Don't worry, that just means we're moving on to the next suspect, which takes us under the car to the charcoal canister.
This is usually a black plastic box located somewhere near the gas tank. You can think of it as the heart of the EVAP system. It's filled with activated charcoal that acts just like a sponge, soaking up all those gas fumes. A really common problem is that it gets clogged with dust or dirt, especially if you drive on dirt roads. And here's the key part. That vent valve our P0446 code is pointing to, it's often mounted right on this canister. And this right here is why we diagnose things in order instead of just throwing parts at the problem. A brand new canister assembly can run you a couple $100, so you really want to be sure it's the problem before you shell out that cash. You can check it for obvious clogs, but a mechanic can test the valve itself to see if it's actually faulty.
So, if the gas cap is good and the canister looks okay, it's time to level up our search. The problem could be a bit sneakier, hiding in the valves that control everything or the hoses that connect it all together.
Now, this is a really important distinction, so pay close attention. There are two main valves we're talking about here. The vent valve, the one we've been focused on, is near the gas tank and is, by far, the most common cause for a P0446. Then you have the purge valve, which is usually up in the engine bay. It's a less common cause for this specific code, but it's not impossible. Knowing which is half the battle.
To find really tiny, sneaky leaks in all those hoses, professionals have a secret weapon. It's called a smoke machine. It's pretty cool, actually. They pump a harmless smoke into the EVAP lines and just watch to see where a little puff of smoke comes out. It's hands down the fastest way to find a cracked hose.
But you don't need a smoke machine to do a good preliminary check. Just get a flashlight, get under the car, and play detective. Start following the lines from the gas tank area, up along the frame, all the way to the engine. You're looking for any rubber hoses that look cracked, swollen, or feel really hard and brittle. Give the connections a little wiggle. You'd be surprised how often the problem is just that simple.
Okay, we've covered a ton of ground here, so let's pull all of this together and boil it down into a simple, clear action plan that you can actually use.
Think of this as your cheat sheet. You start at the top with the gas cap. Easy, cheap, and common. If that doesn't fix it, you move down the list to the charcoal canister and that vent valve. No luck? Then you do a thorough visual inspection of all the EVAP hoses. And finally, if everything else seems fine, then you can investigate the purge valve. Following this exact order is going to save you time, money, and a whole lot of frustration.
You see, that check engine light doesn't have to be some big, scary mystery. With a logical plan and a little bit of investigation, you've got the power to figure out what your car is saying and get that much closer to fixing it. So are you ready to go solve that P0446 mystery?